Hi everyone, my name is Maria Sharif and I work as a research scientist here at one of the cancer immunotherapy labs. So I'll tell you a little bit more about myself first. So I've been at this university for about 6 years now. I did my undergraduate studies here, which was in medical science. And then this was followed by me taking a year out and working as a data manager at the Cancer Research UK Clinical Trials Unit here. And then recently I've completed a research master's in cancer sciences and I now work as a scientist, and I'm hoping to pursue a PhD and hopefully take up a career in academia and research. So over the past few years there's been quite a lot of developments and progresses in the field of immunotherapy for treating cancer. And this involves harnessing patients' own immune system so that it can kill their own cancer. So for example, the way we do this, there's various ways of doing it. So for example, you could engineer patients' own immune cells, such as T cells, to express a particular receptor called chimeric antigen receptor, or you can abbreviate it into CAR. And these CARs, what they do is they recognize specific markers on the tumors, and then they target the T cells against the tumors and promote tumor killing. So there are other immunotherapies out there, so for example checkpoint blockade and monoclonal antibodies, but because I work specifically on the CAR T cells, I can tell you a bit more about them. So until recently, CAR T cells, the work on CAR T cells and their use has been limited to a small number of clinical trials, which include largely patients with blood cancers, advanced blood cancers. However, in 2017, some CAR T cell therapies have been approved by FDA. So, for example, one therapy was approved for treating children with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and another one was approved for treating adults with advanced lymphomas. And if you have been following the news on the BBC, it has been announced that in autumn 2018, CAR T cells have been approved on the NHS for treating childhood leukemias, which is very exciting and it's a huge milestone. However, a lot of this work is in the field of hematologic malignancies, so blood cancers, whereas in solid tumors there hasn't been as much success, because solid tumors, they have some kind of mechanism of resistance to, and therefore they're not as susceptible to CAR T cell immunotherapies. So the work that we do in this lab, we engineer these T cells to express a CAR that will allow that will target not the tumor markers specifically, so the T cells won't be killing the tumors directly, but instead the CAR that we put into our T cells, it will target the markers on the tumor vasculature, and therefore the T cells would destroy the blood supply to the tumors, and this would prevent tumor from developing any further, and the tumor would eventually die. And this work is really exciting. It's quite different. For example, solid tumors that I mentioned before are quite resistant, so like colorectal cancer or pancreatic cancer. So the work that we do in this lab has made a lot of progress, and I really enjoy working here. And there is a lot of potential that this might go into the clinical trial someday. And so that's basically it. So this is what we do. So it's myself and my colleagues, we work together as a team and we engineer these T cells, and by so doing we make a massive difference and a large contribution to this fascinating field of cancer immunotherapy, and hopefully we will make a large difference to a lot of patients out there. So yes, that's it from me. Thank you very much. If you've got any questions, feel free to drop us a comment, or also you may have, I'm not sure if you have seen, but I have a blog on Instagram and I'm called Research Diaries. So if you find, so it's at research.diaries on Instagram, you can find out more about my lab and myself and what I do, and generally about what career in science actually is.